Rio Grande steam locomotive class K-28 was built in 1923 by the American Locomotive Company and were quite good haulers for trains heading toward Cumbers and Silverton. But sadly, not all of them were very lucky. There are only 3 remaining today and 7 dismantled. Let's find out what happened. 470 had been working with the San Juan Express trains that ran 190 miles between Alamosa and Durango. In 1948, she was sold to the White Pass Railway in Alaska, but sadly, for an unexpected reason she had not been able to keep running and was scrapped between 1955 and 1962. 471 had also been sold to the White Pass and most K-28's have been. She was sold to there in 1942 and also was scrapped between 1955 and 1962. 472 had been sold to the White Pass in 1942 and had worked hard up and downhill. By 1958 she was scrapped. 473 was retired between 1967 and 1971 and was put storage in Durango. In 1982 she was restored and is running on the D&S-NG railway. She is one of the 3 remainings. 474 had been sold to the White Pass in 1943 and worked hard. In the early 50s she had fell off track into Bay and was scrapped. 475 had been sold to the White Pass in 1942 and was scrapped in the late 1950s. 476 had been full restored in 1982 and had been on the D&S-NG since then. In 1999 she was taken out of service due to boiler problems and was placed on display. In 2015 she was restored to her full self. 477 had been sold to the White Pass in 1942 and was scrapped between 1950 and 1958. 478 had been restored to her full self in 1981 and since then has been on the D&S-NG. In 2014 she was almost swapped to the CNTS for K-36 engine 483. In 2016 she was taken out of service and is awaiting overhaul and is the 3rd K-28 remaining. 479 had been sold to the White Pass in 1942 and was the last K-28 to be scrapped.